Good morning, good evening. My name is David Okun, and welcome to my channel. And we're talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the second richest man on earth. He's an American. He was born in South Africa. He came to South America via Canada, and his mother is born in Canada. So he came as a young man to Canada, um, and then he became eventually a citizen of America, the United States of America. um, if you watch the rest of my videos on Elon Musk, you will find this information. I'm talking about Elon Musk in terms of the cost of living as a crisis, because the cost of living is an income related problem. People who are rich, like Elon Musk, do not suffer the impact of the cost of living. People who are poor, who work for living, being poor, are the ones who suffer from the cost of living. If had not been poverty in the world, there wouldn't be the cost of living as an issue, as a global issue. Because globally, there are so many poor people, people who work for a living. And like I said in the other videos I produce, I said if you have to work for a living, if it is necessary for you to work for a living, then you are poor. In the sense that rich people do not have to work. Wealthy people do not have to work. They work because they choose to work. Poor people, in practical terms, but also in terms of idea, work out of necessity. If they don't work, they're going to die of hunger, of poverty. Poverty is going to kill them if they don't work. Now, rich people do not face that situation. Now, if I said about, for example, as I talked about tax, which is actually a major factor in impacting on income, I said when a poor person, somebody who works for a living, pays tax, they actually feel the impact of taxation. And people who are wealthy, like Elon Musk, it doesn't matter how much they pay tax, they don't actually feel it. It doesn't make them suffer. Tax is actually there, and it makes poor people suffer financially. Tax actually make poor people poorer, and in many ways it makes rich people richer, because the tax money collected by the government, by public policy, by government policy actually, the government uses taxpayers' money to give more money to the super rich. We saw it in Britain recently um, with the last budget in 2023 under Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, with his Chancellor. What is his name? The British Chancellor is Jeremy Hunt. They designed a budget, a tax. They actually produce a taxation policy, and in the process of producing that taxation policy, they added over billions of pounds to super rich energy company. Now, at that time, the energy company had said they made so much money, they don't even know what to use the money for. They are so rich because of the crisis. They actually made money because of the crisis in Ukraine and the crisis in Ukraine and Russia. The energy company put the price of energy up. In the process, they made a lot of money, and this happened because the UK and the governments, UK government and the governments around the world, have privatized the energy company. Privatizing the energy company means the market determines the price of goods and services. Now, the essential product, such as food and energy, along with transportation and healthcare, education, housing, these and many similar uh, uh, products and systems should not be privatized. They should be left under the control of the government, of the public, so that, because these are necessities. Anything involving necessity, including public transport, should be managed by the government. But the problem with the UK government and problem of the governments across the globe is that they are privatized the public sector, providing public service such as food and energy. And now the prices of food and energy is going up. The reason food prices and energy prices are going up is because of privatization, because of capitalism, the marketized form of capitalism. It's the extreme version of capitalism, and it's going to get worse and worse. The cost of living is just the beginning. There are all sorts of problems. They may call it different names, but it has to do with poverty. And poverty is going to be worse and worse, and people are actually going to start dying because of poverty and because of government attitude. Government attitude protect people like Elon Musk, giving them more money. It's like when they say if you have more, if you're rich, you get richer. If you're poor, you get poorer. That is capitalism. It's a system created by society, and capitalism has always been there. And capitalism is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be there. So people need to understand. A lot of people are not interested in politics. A lot of people are not interested in policy. People want entertainment. That is fine, but you have to use your head and use your head to think, and take some time also to learn something. Read if you need to read. Watch videos if you have to watch them to learn something. Because if you don't learn something, you're going to be foolish. You're actually going to be a very stupid person. If you don't learn, you have to study. You can't just sit there and do nothing. I mean, there are times for entertainment. You play. You take time to play. You go to a movie. You have dinner. You go on holiday. Everybody does leisure, but you can't just be doing nothing and having parties, entertainment. You can't be playing all the time. As a human being, that is not right. Taking time to play is very important because it's part of health and wellness. Definitely, you can't work all the times. There's no point working all the times. It's no point reading all the times, learning all the times. You have to take time off to do other things. But too much of anything is dangerous. Too much work, too much play, too much reading, learning, and too much talking, or even keep quiet too much. Life is about balance, and you're on your own. That is the main information. You're on your own. The government is not helping you. The government was never designed to help anyone. Government is designed to rule. It helps you because it wants you to work to build wealth for itself. Government is there to create wealth for the few. Government is there to provide safety for the few, the ruling class, and not for the many. The government gives you enough to feed and stay alive, to provide labor to build the economy, to build wealth for themselves, for those who are in power. So that is a relationship between the state and the population, the public. The public is there to work for the few, the ruling class. The ruling class don't work. So they make the rest of the country to work for them for free. They don't pay you. They pay you very little. Just enough to keep you alive. Maybe there are people who get money from employers. They're well paid. They're called the middle class. But the middle class are actually paid to work, to look over, to supervise workers. So they're rewarded to do their work more effective. They're more comfortable, but they're not really the ruling class because they work for a living. Middle class work for a living. The ruling class don't work for a living. Elon Musk is an example of a ruler who doesn't work for a living. If he works the way he wants to work. He can do whatever he likes because he is the second richest man on earth. He's worth hundreds of billions of US dollars. So that is something people should understand, and I've been repeating these points over and over, and with the hope that people will get it into their head, because if you understand a situation, then you are better placed to actually solve your problem. The problem with solving is about survival. If you're a worker and also suffering from the cost of living, and like I said, the cost of living is just a sign, it's a symptom. It's not going anywhere. It's a sign of poverty, and poverty is here to stay. If you're lucky, if you work hard, you live well enough, but you are not going to be rich. Unless you are rich. Wealth is almost like playing a lottery. The like of Elon Musk, you don't even know how they make money. I mean, how did he get rich? You don't really know. It's a complete mystery how some people, very, very few people getting extremely, extremely rich. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know. But try your best to survive. You never know, maybe one day, if technology becomes available, then we will stop work. You stop being slaves. Maybe you get some form of freedom, but don't take my word for it. And when I say you, I mean me and us. But the timeline is anybody's guess. When is it going to happen? When is technology going to be available to provide enough wealth for free? Because you see, the government is about wealth creation, and the reason why the law is there to make people work, to create wealth for the rich, for the rulers. The government is set to rule. Rule is supposed to help create wealth for the rulers, the masters, and nothing else. What you get is actually politics. Politics is actually what keeps society together. It makes us believe that we belong to a political party, we belong to the country, but we don't. There is nothing like citizenship, except it is actually citizenship. The idea of citizenship is created by politics. Politics is a public relations system of rule. It actually covers up. Politics is there to cover up the wrath of rule. Rule is a very dangerous thing. And we live in a world today not even knowing that we are being ruled over because of politics. Politics makes us go to war, makes us fight for wars we are not supposed to fight for. We fight for the ruling class. And the reason actually we create warfares is to take wealth by force from the countries we invade. For example, if Britain is found fighting, is always fighting over wealth. Look at Elon Musk. The only thing Elon Musk thinks about is money and wealth. He doesn't do anything else. They don't even, people who are obsessed with wealth do not like people. They do not like human beings. They only like themselves. They don't even like themselves, to be honest. They only, actually, if you look, because we look we're looking at Elon Musk, we look at Jeff Bezos, we're going to look at somebody else after this. I'm just trying to see the way wealthy people behave. They behave like as if they are very poor. And there's no rest for the wicked. And if you see the way wealthy people suffer, then you know there is wickedness, and actually this can be seen. I think Elon Musk is wicked because he doesn't rest. He's always chasing power. He's looking for wealth all the time. And he doesn't think of people. He doesn't think of himself. He doesn't think of his family. All he thinks about is money. And more and more and more wealth. Every time, whatever he does, his motive is money. And that's wickedness. Because I know he doesn't rest. He's supposed to be just sitting there enjoying his wealth, but this man doesn't rest. So there's no peace for the wicked. He is wicked because he doesn't. People die, you say rest in peace. Rest is associated with peace. So Elon Musk does not rest. So there's no peace for there's no peace for the wicked. He is wicked in that sense. So I don't know about people who are poor. If you don't rest, then you are also wicked. So learn to take time and rest, and visit friends. Have some fun. You don't think about work all the time. It doesn't matter how hard you work. Work is not going to make you rich. Work may make you succeed, and success is not necessarily being rich. Because if you succeed successfully, you raise a family. If you successfully take your children to school, you look after your parents and your grandparents, and you prepare a place for the next generation. You see, you prepare for when you die. You have life insurance so that when you die, you don't become a burden to the living. You get life insurance, and you don't obsess yourself with death because that makes you miserable. It's like wickedness. I mean, you don't rest thinking about death. I mean, death is so irrelevant because we don't premise our life on death. We are not going to die unless we die. I know people die, but not us. We don't die because why should we? After all, scientists say people are not designed to die. We die by accident. That's what the scientists have said. So they are now looking for solutions to aging, solution to dying, which is exciting because they say we are not designed to die. So why should we waste ourselves, waste our lives thinking about death? Let us think about life. Let us stop being wicked. We should have some time and rest and be peaceful. And in the other video, I spoke about culture and respect. It's a passport to peace. I mean, if we don't understand our culture, that is a form of wickedness. Because wickedness in the sense that we are not going to rest. We are not going to have peace. People who do not have peace are wicked. Because it is said there's no peace for the wicked. So if if you're not peaceful, you have to think again that there's wickedness in your life. It's no peace for the wicked. I always see these wealthy people, they think about money too much. And they don't give their money to anybody. And they shouldn't. I don't even like people giving me money. Because I want an opportunity to work for my wealth. I'm entitled to that, to an opportunity. And if I make money, if I create wealth to provide, to make a better world, to make a better life, first of all, in a better world. Because life without humans is worthless. And people like Elon Musk produce evidence that they don't care about people. That is the evidence. In studying them, they don't care about people. And if they don't care about people and they're controlling wealth globally, they control it, which means the rest of the world cannot access it. People are going to die. And if people die because they have hoarded wealth, because they have taken away wealth and prevented other people from accessing wealth, it means they're murderers. They're killing people. They're killing people, and if they are able to kill somebody else, they are going to kill themselves as well. Because humans are the same. If you value you other people, you mean you value yourself. But if they're so negligent or intent in their intent on killing, or they kill by negligence, it's the same. They're going to kill people. They're going to be murderers, killers. They kill people because they are people. They're killing themselves also. You kill somebody else, you're also killing yourself. There's something called suicide. Suicide is like killing oneself. Homicide is killing somebody else. But a human being dies. Same. If you don't really value other people's, if you don't value other life, people's life, it means you don't even value. I mean, you don't have the capacity to develop to value yourself. Which means if your action can lead to other people being destroyed and killed, I mean, once you are finished with destroying and killing other people, you're going to kill yourself. Because after all, without people around, you're going to be very sad. You're going to be very miserable. You're going to kill yourself even quickly. So the super rich, actually neglecting humanity, are also committing suicide. They're killing themselves. and living a life without peace is like death. So this is actually a very important education for everyone watching this video. Work for money, work for wealth, but don't overdo it. Don't really think money is going to make you happy. No, you won't. Especially for poor people. Poor people actually convinced their happiness is to do with wealth. No. Happiness comes from friends only. If you can make a friend with a dog, you're going to be happy. But I think it's a form of weirdness to be making friends with a dog when there are so many people around. In the UK, we call ourselves strangers. That is really ridiculous. It's really uneducated. We, as the British people or the citizens of the world, because everywhere, except perhaps still in parts of Africa, but in big cities now, people are calling themselves strangers in Africa. The more we are in a big city, the more strangers we are. I mean, even in Britain, if you go deep into village, people still behave in a certain way. There is a recognition that we are humans. There's apprehension because Britain is so developed. The more developed we are, I don't know why. The more isolated, the more individuals we become, the more strangers because we don't know each other. I mean, you live your life, you don't even talk to other people, and if people start talking to you, they are actually offending you. Actually, the law, in many ways, the law is also you don't go around talking to other people. You cannot go and talk to somebody if they don't want to talk to you. I think it's illegal. It's form of kind of like assault, probably. It's a trespass, I think. So, uh, that's the society we are producing around the world. I mean, it's because of globalization. It's going global. The way we behave. So I've been really producing this video, explaining the way we live. We are responsible for our lives and for our livelihood. If it is going to be the cost of living or any other problems, if you watch my other video, I point you to, capitalism is full of crises and it's not going to end. So it's a case of really identifying the problem and solving it. It's actually being realistic and dealing with these things. But the bigger picture is what I'm trying to talk about. I mean, if the only thing we think about is us, me, we don't see beyond us. It's like we think too much about our lives, and we sometimes live as if other people don't exist. Just that we are like just alone. I mean, there are how many people? There are nearly 70 million people in the UK, but all of them are individuals. Like there's only one person. Sometimes that's how it feels. There's only one person existing in the UK. That is actually a situation going around. I mean, it's spreading around globally, and it is because we are uneducated culturally. So we'll be saying that over and over. And like I said, we're looking at the Elon Musk associated with Tesla. If you know Tesla, but been looking at different aspects of his life, his profile, and also look. Right now, I'm going to look at just a continuation. I'm going to look at what he did, his experience with COVID-19. So he used to wear, because COVID-19 is still there, but not very much. He used to wear something called bandana. He wears bandana. I don't know what it is. It's a face mask. This is what he was wearing during the COVID-19 pandemic. So he's a very cool customer, very stylish. So he has been making comments and behaving in a certain way in terms of COVID-19 pandemic. And the way he had been talking was a subject to public criticism. I mean, a lot of people criticize him for certain comments he made publicly about COVID-19, and that's look at how he behaves generally. For example, he's accused of spreading misinformation about the virus, including promoting a widely discredited paper on the benefits of chloroquine and claiming that COVID-19 death statistics were inflated. So he might be, uh, maybe he's giving misinformation in my mind, maybe he's not. But this is an opinion somebody is giving that um, that his criticism was that it was because the thing about COVID-19 is nobody knows anything because it came from the state, allegedly from China. I don't know if the Chinese. Well, there's evidence that it started in China, in the I said, Wuhan province. I don't know where it is. Somewhere in China, and it's very foreign. COVID-19 is very foreign, and blame it on other countries, other nations. If you are not Chinese, so there are so many people have different opinions and attitude about um, COVID-19 because Elon Musk actually um, he he has been promoting a view that chloroquine is medicine. They say that you know benefits of chloroquine on COVID-19 and uh, and also disputing statistics on 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 death, COVID-19 related deaths, and like I said, COVID-19 is really a very difficult topic to talk about because literally it's so difficult now for me and also maybe for Elon Musk to trust the government. But someone like Elon Musk can be trusted. He may not even be trusted because he can say anything. Misinformation is like you know the truth and you I don't really know how they deal with the misinformation. I mean, it could be like you know the truth and you tell the truth in a bad way. For example, in a way, it's to make people not believe the truth. That is a form of misinformation. Or you can tell the truth in a really lousy way, in a really reckless, in a very careless way, such as to make people to disbelieve the truth. Or you tell lies. Even if you know the truth, you can tell lies to conceal the truth. So the truth is out there about COVID-19. And in March 2020, Elon Musk is quoted as saying the coronavirus panic is dumb. The people who are panicking about coronavirus are really dumb. Dumb is probably mean some people are stupid. They are not really. They shouldn't. So the reason they talk about COVID-19 has been really significant. It's a global pandemic. I mean, it sold a lot of newspapers. It actually helped shape government policies in different ways. That's why I say COVID-19 is part of the reason we are in the cost of living at the moment. And that's why COVID-19, any comment on COVID-19 will always attract a lot of attention. And whether it's necessary or not, whether it is a priority or not, because, it involves government policy it involve very important people can make comments to attract attention on themselves. So it's like COVID became a publicity instrument. If you hear people talk one thing about COVID-19, you can say another. You create controversy, even if the truth, even if you know the truth, you still just say anything to kind of like draw attention to yourself. That's probably what Musk might be doing. And and so, for example, he thinks COVID-19 is a form of common cold, and and um, and also he said things like confirm. He predicted that confirmed COVID-19 cases will not exceed 0.1% of the U.S. population. I mean, whether it's right or not, because they talk about Elon Musk, they also talk about COVID-19 because the COVID-19 is a really high-profile topic, and a lot of important people have been saying a lot of controversial statements on COVID-19 to attract attention on themselves. I think that's what they're trying to do here. Um, so um, so there have been so many different comments. Like Politico, for example. Every big media company would want to be associated with COVID-19 with Elon Musk, so they talk about him. Even if I mean, sometimes you see, these things are not really necessary, but they still talk about him to sell papers. So Politico, for example, was also making a statement. So he labeled Elon Musk's statement um, as one of the most audacious, confident, and spectacularly incorrect uh, prognostications of 2022. Prognostications are actually like prediction or whatever. So Musk also claimed falsely that children are essentially immune to COVID-19. These are some of the things being said. Um, it might be right, it might be wrong, but the manner in which he says it attracts criticism. So Musk condemned COVID-19 lockdowns and initially refused to close the Tesla Fremont factory in March 2020, defying the local shelter-in-place order. So he broke the law of COVID-19. Most powerful people can do that. We saw it in Britain with the Prime Minister, although in a slightly different way. He didn't do it overtly. In May 2020, he opened the Tesla factory, defying the local stay-at-home order, and warned workers that they would be unpaid and their unemployment benefit might be jeopardized if they did not report to work. Now, there's something called unemployment benefit. This used to be given by the government. Now it's given by a private company like Tesla, like Elon Musk. And why should you give unemployment benefit when you are employing people? Probably because America probably make big organizations pay unemployment benefits to people who are actually unemployed. Maybe they are laid off. Instead of paying them compensation for big, lump sum for being laid off, like most people, normal people would do. I mean, if they lay you off, they should pay you redundancy payment, which is actually a big lump sum money to help you maybe start a business or do something useful with it. They don't. they pay unemployment benefit, which means they pay bit by bit, like, I don't know, yeah, they probably pay very little anyway. So in December 2022, Musk called for prosecution of former NIA ID director Anthony Fauci. In March 2020, Musk promised that Tesla would make ventilators for COVID-19 patients if there were a shortage. So he promised to make um, um, ventilators for COVID-19. How he decided to do that is a mystery, because he's saying COVID-19 is not serious. So he's here today, gone tomorrow. After figures like New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio responded, um, after figures like Mayor of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio responded to Mark's remark, Mark's offer. Musk offered to donate ventilators, which Tesla would build or buy from a third party. So that's the story of Tesla trying to help. When these people help, they help genuinely, but they also help to promote their businesses. However, Musk ended up buying and donating BIP, AP, and CPAP machines, which are non-invasive ventilators, rather than the much more expensive and sought-after invasive mechanical ventilator machine. Now, the significance of that, I don't really know, because you talk about invasive mechanism, I don't know much about it. In September 2020, Musk stated that he would not get the COVID-19 vaccine because he and his children were not at risk of COVID-19. This is his relationship with COVID-19. 2 months later, Musk contracted COVID-19 and suggested this COVID-19 rapid antigen test results were dubious, after which the phrase space Karen trended on Twitter in reference to Musk. However, in December 2021, Musk revealed that he and his eligible children had received the vaccine. In January 2023, Musk revealed that he experienced intense adverse reactions after his second COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. A lot of people were complaining about vaccine and the booster as being so affecting of their health. I'm going to stop this video here. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Support it, share with family and friends, and leave a comment below. Ring a notification bell to remind you of new videos. Thank you for your support. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.